Hey everybody, welcome back to the couch. My name is Melissa and this is Couch Mom Club. 4 times a week, I post amazing videos about pregnancy, motherhood, and life itself. So if that gets you excited, go ahead and join the club. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss an upload. Last week, I heard on the news that a British man legally changed his name to John Cena. That is a professional wrestler and he looks like this. Do you know him? Yes, so this guy was dared to change his name and he did it. Turns out, dude is not even a fan of wrestling. So there are names like Blue Ivy, that's the child of Beyonce, Bear Blaze, the child of Kate Winslet, Apple, the child of Gwyneth Paltrow, and get this. This one is funny. Moon Unit, Dweezil, and Diva Thin Muffin. Those 3 are the children of a famous musician, Frank Zappa, and his wife, Adelaide Gail Zappa. Did you hear those names? Those are some unique names. So we've heard all these names before, right? But the thing about naming is that naming has been around forever. One of the very, very first things that God gave Adam to do was to name the creation. God named the things that he made and he told Adam to name the animals. And then Adam later named his partner. So naming is something that is severely important and has been around forever. We all name things. We name our cars, we name our alter egos, we name our businesses, and we name our children, which I think is probably the most important one on the list. Many cultures even celebrate naming by having a naming ceremony where people come together and they choose names that they will then assign to children, or they will use names that have been in families for centuries and pass those names down to the kids that are born in later generations. For me, naming is an act of assigning identity, or it is given based on an identity that is already manifested, something that is already seen. For example, a toaster is called a toaster because it is made to toast bread. That is what it was created for, right? But sometimes things are given names that really have nothing to do with their identity or purpose, or at least those names are not readily identified by us because we don't know the meaning or the origin. For example, the top of your lowercase I and your lowercase j is called a tittle. I don't know why that is. And if you've ever had a coffee with a cardboard sleeve, that is called a Zarf.
Will that be all for today?
Excuse me? For the hot drinks, can you make sure that there's a Zarf on each cup?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Can you make sure that there's a Zarf on each cup?
There's a stopper on each cup?
A Zarf.
I'm sorry.
A sleeve.
A sleeve?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No.
Thank you. What? Apparently, the proper name for the cardboard piece that goes on your cup is called a Zarf.
That's awesome.
So did you know that a Zarf was the sleeve?
No clue.
Apparently that's the actual name for it,
Oh,
Zarf.
really?
So if anybody else asks you for a Zarf, now you'll know.
Sounds good. I was like, what?
With those strange names, it's kind of hard to link the identity to the thing, like what it does, what its purpose is for, based on the name. Unless, of course, you want to dig up the history of the name, find its Greek or Latin origin, and then do a big old study about where the name came from and all of that stuff. Now, my question is, you could very well do that, but do you do that when you name your child? Do you take the time to do some research, to find out the meanings of the names, to pray about it? Like, are you reading all the books? What kind of process are you doing to name your children? Go ahead and put some comments in the comment section. Let me know how you name your children. Is it a thought process? Do you give a name based on something that you really love or someone that you really love? Let me know in the comments down below. There are 4,700,229 Jameses in the world. And there are 3,196,000 385 Marys in the world. Now, all of these people are different, but they have one major thing in common. They all share a name. And that might mean that they might share some personality traits or share some common features. But this thing about this name, a name is so important. And even though you have so many people with the same name, each person is unique, but you will find certain character traits and certain similarities in each one. Have you ever heard the saying, or maybe you've said it yourself, your name is John, but you don't look like a John? Or you've associated certain personality traits or certain characteristics with a certain name. For example, some of us refuse to name a child the same name as our middle school bully. Because every time you say that name, you're gonna remember that bully, right? You wouldn't necessarily name your kid Buzz, would you? Think about it. What about this? Have you ever heard some really, really unique names? Like names that you can't even say. Names that even if you read it on a paper, you would get it wrong. I read recently that many Black people that were taken into slavery were actually stripped of their names, those unique African names, and they were given English names. And a part of regaining identity and just living in their newfound freedom, many of the Black people that were taken started to assign really, really unique names to their children. This was their way of saying, we are free and we are free to name our children in our African cultural names, which I think is amazing. So if you ever hear some really unique names, you have to think about it. Like, where does this name come from? How was this name chosen? And like, why? I always ask that question. Why would so-and-so name their kid so-and-so? And I promise you, I'm not the only one that has asked this question. Do you remember back in 1997, this clip?
What is her name?
It's Roshandia, Tonishan, Vision, Keishan, Simon, Drew, Shalinda, Shakane, Ronquel, Ninja, Shamika, Shanet, Tamika, Shawa, Himian, Shell, Connie, Satsan, Janish, Marine, Kunsai, Kanisha, Devon, Yvonne, Latani, Sivan, Tape, Pranky, Salaviva, Zanfisa, Jesslyn, Sajave, Loya, Vet, Sparkly, Sandra, Kate, Kati, Vishon, Orly, Vakishawa, Lisa, Nathan, Shots, Macmone, Loisa. My middle name is Kunyan Scott.
Your middle name?
It's Kunyan Scott.
Girl, please. Okay, go on. You're done?
My middle name is Kunyan Scott Yathwashikam, and my last name is Williams.
That name is special. In our home, we believe that naming a child is super, super, super important. We put a lot of thought into the names we select for our children because we believe that when we call the child that over and over and over again, they will begin to manifest the meaning of that name. For example, my name is Melissa, and the meaning of Melissa is honeybee or working bee. And if you ask me, after 30 plus years of being called Melissa, I can be a little sweet. And I'm hardworking. So there you have it. I'm a honeybee. So when you're pregnant, everybody asks you the questions like, what are you having? And have you picked out any names? And here I am carrying this baby, and I've been asked, what are you having? And have you picked out any names? The short answer, let me start with the first question. What am I having? I don't know. Have we picked out names? We sure have. And I bet you're excited to find out what they are. But guess what? You're going to have to stay tuned and join the club to find out, because I'm not going to tell you. But you want to stay connected so you can definitely find out what we choose to name our baby. It's coming soon, guys. Due date is fast approaching. Until next time, here are some really cool Couch Mom Club videos for you to enjoy. And don't forget to join the club. Hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Also, follow me on all your favorite social media accounts. And don't forget to check out the merch. Everything will be in the link in the description right below that like button. Now it's time to get off the couch and into life.